Hello everybody, we're here with, some more Smite analysis. So I believe this is Smite constantly fall split week 1 day 1. Aware Gaming versus Most Wanted. Aware Gaming has obviously won the first game. I know that they just came out of the Challengers Cup and nobody really expected them to do very well. And what I also know is I know that Most Wanted, I believe that they won in the summer split versus Team Eager, and I believe that actually went to 5 games. But I know that Most Wanted came out 3-2, which means they're kind of projected to, I would assume, do pretty well. But it looks like they've obviously dropped the first game to Aware, so we'll see what happens there. Um, Ao Kwang Guan Yu banned out. Um, I mean, quite honestly, the console meta is gonna be different from PC. But I know for a fact Guan Yu usually good on PC. So, and then Nemesis and Fafnir, those are gods that are considered very powerful, both on PC and on console. Most wanted picking up Athena. Obvious choice. She's really good, obviously, because what she can teleport across the map and then she can get multiple man taunts instead of a lot of kills. Um, Zeus, it does a lot of like AoE damage to multiple targets, and Susanoo, he has a lot of mobility, and what he does is he's good at going. He's good at getting in there, quickly killing someone, and then getting out. Right, and honestly, that's perfect. Um, Most wanted have to pick here. They pick the Robin, so they have their 2 tanks, their solo and their support, all planned out. Um, we'll see. Maybe they get their ADC here, so they can finish their dual lane. Hmm. Oh, Vulcan. Um, I know it's unlikely that you see Vulcan like ADC, right? Because that's crazy. But yeah, Vulcan's definitely gonna be in the mid. Okay, so Neith. Okay, so the thing about Neith is Neith's a flex pick, right? So Neith hypothetically could go in the mid or maybe the ADC. So what it could end up being Neith versus Vulcan, or could end up being Neith versus someone else. Um, so Most Wanted banning Bacchus makes sense. Wargaming hasn't picked up their support, and that's just a free ban. Um, and then Wargaming has banned Najah and Freya. That's perfect because obviously Most Wanted has not picked up their jungler or their ADC. Not to mention Freya's really popular right now because Freya is great and feels good. Sobek, another ban by Most Wanted. Again, Wargaming just hadn't picked their support. Also, Guan Yu has been getting really popular in the support role because, quite frankly, the magical ADCs have been doing really well. So, like Freya and Soul have been doing really well, and it's kind of hard to have two magical damages in the same or magical damage characters in the same lane, and so that's why you see the physical support. So Erlang Shen picked up by Aware Gaming. Erlang Shen, he's been pretty good since he came out, really. And Thor and Uller. So yeah, that definitely means Vulcan is gonna be in the mid, um, against the Zeus. That's an interesting matchup. And then Thor versus Susanoo in the jungle, and then it's Uller versus Neith, I would imagine. And then Kumakarna picked up by Aware. I mean, obviously, Bacchus and Sobek were banned, and Athena was taken. I mean, you could have picked Geb, but Geb's not in the meta. I mean, I know for a fact that Geb's ult got buffed recently, but I don't think the pros care about Geb. Like, I think it's completely irrelevant. Sylvanas definitely irrelevant. Kepri, I mean, he was good, but then like Hi-Rez nerfed him like 45 times. So yeah, there's that. Um, so Most Wanted. Um, I don't know whether or not you guys know this. Most Wanted, I believe it has a lot of players that came from PC. So I know Transonics came from PC. I know Cloud came from PC. Pretty sure Sinosure came from PC as well. But I think Aware Gaming, um, I believe 2 of Aware Gaming are from PC. Like I think it's Layers of Death and I think Cameron might be from PC. But yeah, for the most part, there are a lot of console natives, which is great to see. Um, and I'm really looking forward to the console world championships this year because obviously like Nvidia's won't be able to come back because all those old players are obviously roster locked. Actually, except for Omega, that's a good question. Like Omega's not roster locked, so he could, in theory, join a console team and win again. I don't know. We'll have to see what exactly that Omega's up to. But anyway, I just hope to see like an actual console team win the console championships instead of that whole like envious debacle where it was 5 PC players and they won the console championships. It's kind of cheap if you ask me. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So you see a good poke in the mid lane. Looks like both of them are at 60% health. But it looks like Zeus was able to clear it a bit faster. Was able to clear mid lane a bit faster than Zeus, and Zeus was able to pick up the right heart piece. Over here in the left lane. So I think it's an even trade. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of potions used at this point. Let's look at builds. Oh, it's gonna be hard for me to look at builds if we're looking at Forger Vulcan. But yeah, sprint. That's definitely something I get early on supports because what you can do is you can get a kill in lane, and what you can do is you can use your sprint to get out before the enemy team can counter engage on you. So let's look at the builds. We'll start with Aware Gaming. Aware Gaming, Neath obviously building Transcendence. This is nothing crazy here. Kumbhakarna build, like both the support builds are pretty standard, and the 2 hunters that were picked, which are Uller and Neath, you would definitely see Transcendence built on them quite often. So that's nothing out of the ordinary. So the mage builds, I think, is where mage builds. I think is where it gets real interesting, right? So if you look at the Zeus built the Imperial Helm, and so that's going to give him some physical defense and some power, along with Vampiric Shroud, obviously. Vampiric Shroud, he's going to get all the sustain and also some damage from that. But what the Imperial Helm's going to do is it's going to make it to where Thor is going to do a lot less damage in the early game. And I'm guessing Zeus is going to play a little bit further back, I would imagine, just because he probably fears the Thor, and that's why he picked up the Imperial Helm. And then for the Vulcan, it doesn't look like he cares very much about sustain. Like, to me, like, it looks like he just wants that burst damage, and so that's why he currently has Soulstone. And so, sorry, I had some technical difficulties. But it looks like Vulcan got picked out, and like I said, Vulcan wasn't building very much sustain, and honestly, it's pretty hard to stay in lane, like, without a lot of health and mana. So you see him falling. But yeah, that's the thing about Soulstone. Soulstone, like, it gives you a lot of damage, but then again, Vampiric Shroud offers a lot more sustain, and so Vampiric Shroud is just gonna let you like stay healthy a lot longer, and so that's why you see that happen. Also, Zeus obviously went for the Imperial Helm, like I said, and so that gave him some physical defense. And since Vulcan didn't do that, Vulcan just got shredded by the Zeus Helm. Look at the Thor or the jungle builds, standard stuff, and we'll likely see Warrior Tabai out of the Raven. So, very similar builds this game. If you look at the player damage, Erlang Shen, well, I mean, obviously, the 2 solo laners are always at the top of the damage charts in the early game because solo lane is just a poke battle. I'm really confused because I'm guessing Discord thinks I'm in a call. I'm not quite sure. Sorry if you can hear that. I'm sure you can, but there's not much I can do. I already tried. Looks like everyone's going to try to commit onto Zeus. A lot of ults were used on both sides. In fact, let's look. There's only one ult available on each team. Well, I'll come to think of it. I guess it's not really an ult because it's Uller. So yeah. So the only ult up right now is Kumbhakarna. But yeah. So what I saw there was I saw Neath ult used. I saw both of the mages use their ults. Did he pull off the steal? Yes. It looks like he was able to pull off the steal. Dr. Little Caves, 23. I swear that the console names throw me off. But yeah. Erlang Shen is able to get the steal. I don't think he's going to be able to collect that buff. But looks like, so, like, Aware Gaming got the buff. but then it looks like Most Wanted got the kill. The problem with going for the steal like that is that basically that then the other team like knows where you are because you were just in their jungle, and so I'm sure that the Robin communicated to the Thor and said, "Well, yeah, the Erlang Shen is totally in our jungle. I'm sure you can cut him off in his jungle," and that's what we saw right there. Um, I mean, that is kind of why it's hard to disengage. Not to mention, Erlang Shen was pretty low on mana. Like he couldn't really dash away, as Kumba is just gonna try to bully Transonics, but Transonics is doing a lot more damage back. Um, there's no more health bots for Forger Vulcan. I think we'll just see him play a little more passive because I think he learned his lesson to not mess with Transonics. Transonics landed the whole combo flawlessly. Um, oh, I want to see what words are on the Gold Fury. I believe that Aware Gaming has a word on the Gold Fury, but I don't think we'll see an early Gold Fury because I don't see any Wraths. Typically, if you want to see an early Gold Fury, then that either means there's gonna be a Fafnir because Fafnir can AoE coerce his team, and that'll make it to where his team can like one shot the Gold Fury and Vulcan's dead again. Yeah, like the thing about Vulcan is Vulcan has like no ability, right? And so for me personally, like I build some defense on Vulcan, but Clow, like it looks as if Clow just wants to build full damage, and that's not how you play Vulcan really. And early Gold Fury by Aware Gaming. So Aware Gaming was like could easily do that Gold Fury because Cloud's ult is pretty much the best tool that Most Wanted has to steal the Gold Fury, right? Because obviously, um, the rockets can be shot from too far away and they do a lot of damage, etc. So basically, without Vulcan ult, it's not really like Most Wanted can steal that. So, you know, like if they can't stop you, you might as well do it, right? Um, again, we've got some more poke here. Let's look at the gold advantage over here in the solo lane. I'm surprised to see Erlang Shen up, despite I mean, I'm guessing the Gold Fury is why he has an advantage. And okay, well, hmm, this is a very awkward fight. So the thing about fights that happen in the solo lane is fights that happen in the solo lane typically will cause some movement near the Gold Fury because one team will see that the other team is all in solo lane and they'll try to go for the Gold Fury, right? And so Most Wanted knew the Gold Fury was down, right? Because Aware Gaming just did it. And so Most Wanted figured, well, if we take a fight in solo lane, like Aware Gaming can't really capitalize on it because the Gold Fury is already down. Which I will admit that's some sound logic, but it looks like you just spent a lot of time to get no kills. And as you can see, Aware Gaming has that lead. Um, I mean, their lead is pretty much first blood and like maybe the Gold Fury. I mean, granted, Gold Fury. I'm pretty sure that they did the Gold Fury at like the 7 minute mark, right? And so it's not gonna be worth that much. As Robin's getting CC chained, and I saw a lot of ults used, and that was like 3 ults for 1 kill. But this Robin, this Robin was. He's still pretty close, but if you ask me, the Robin could have definitely caught up to the Erlang Shen like very soon. But something tells me that death is definitely gonna make it difficult. Um, yeah, I don't know what. I guess Sinoshire's just trying to cover for Robin, but looks like Erlang Shen just kind of shrugging him off. Well, ooh, Erlang. Oh, I didn't get the double tap. Yeah, but they're both pretty low on mana, so you're not really gonna see like a full commit by any of these guys. And the player damage is up in the bottom left. Like I said, solo laners will reign supreme until we actually start seeing some large scale team fights around Gold Fury, etc. Oh, and we're committing on Vulcan again. Yep. Dead Vulcan. Yep, dead. So that's why we don't see Vulcan right there, ladies and gents. Um, I mean, I guess it's fine to play him in casuals, but when it comes to this game, or like when it comes to this game, and in terms of like the whole league, uh, like that, there's money on the line, right? And so I wouldn't be doing this. And there's another kill for Aware Gaming. Aware Gaming is looking strong, right? So Aware Gaming came out of the Challengers Cup, being known as the Los Amigos. Well, Los Amigos, which is translated to the friends in Spanish, in case you didn't know. But yeah. So I know that Aware Gaming, I believe that they had a European Xbox team like earlier this season, or maybe it was last season. So Aware Gaming is not new, um, but it looks like so far Aware Gaming that definitely chose a good roster to sponsor because this game's looking pretty good. Also, they won the first game, so Transonics, oh, barely missed to the right, but yeah, um, Most Wanted, right? I mean, Most Wanted last split was like, well, the thing about Most Wanted last split was that no one thought they were gonna be good, but then they like surprised everyone. And it was really good, and so at the start of the split, people were thinking, well, now that Most Wanted has proven that they're very good, then you know they can do it again, right? But so far we're just not seeing that. And I think the main problem right here has to be the Vulcan, right? Especially because the Vulcan's building um, items, names, difficult. Do more, yes. Honestly, I forget the name Do More because I never build it because I don't know. I just never liked the idea of the item. Um, so I think Do More puts a lot of pressure on you not to die, and especially because how this Vulcan is kind of, what? So wait, this Vulcan has 3 deaths in 12 minutes, which means this man is dying once every 4 minutes, which means at this rate he'll have a lot of deaths by the end of the game, right? So I think he should have switched around his build to potentially make his build fit better to the situation, right? Like what we said, um, you can't really use the same build every game. Your builds have to be situational, right? As so we're gaming. I guess I just tried to bait McCoys, but it looks like Shore and Zeus is going to completely nullify any. Ooh, okay, so like any engage, I thought would have been just completely mitigated by Zeus, but Raven in the back line and in the front line, we're seeing some more Zeus damage. But it looks like we'll see a dead Zeus. No, okay, well, this Raven in the back line is putting in a lot of work. Transonics kind of stole the kill, but granted, wait, I guess he already had full Transcendent stacks. It really doesn't matter. Cloud's dead again. What did I tell you? So yeah, I believe so. Cloud had 22 stacks on Doomlord. Make it 11 because it's the nature of the item. And let's talk more about builds because and I also want to talk about that fight. But so about that fight, I feel like um, I feel as if Wargaming was kind of focused on the people that were in front of them, and they weren't really focused on the fact that Wolves was getting in behind them. And that's the thing about fighting in the jungle is that there's a lot of pathways, and you're never really sure like what pathways that your opponents are going to be coming from. As I don't know why Lil Caves is taking this fight. He kind of started with a lot less health, and I think he's realizing he shouldn't be there and is able to back out. And Vulcan just saved Thor's life. Honestly, I expected Thor to die there, but then again, Kumbhakarna didn't have any backup on that. I mean, in my opinion, that's why it's Kumbhakarna ult, right? Because with Kumbhakarna ult, you want to use it to where the ult can set up a kill for your team. And that, like I said, the Vulcan ult is definitely very good for stealing overreach, right? But at that point, it was just too late to use it. It's kind of a waste, but it looks like Wargaming got it again. But, oh, I was gonna say they could make it even by getting some kills, and I mean, I'd say it's definitely not even, but it's better than nothing. Like, those 2 kills are better than just giving it to Gold Fury and getting nothing for it. But as you can see, they're still down by almost 3,000 15 minutes in. mean, it's not that big of a deal yet, but it could be. And Transonics. I think Transonics is in too deep here. I think yeah, he kind of leaped in place. I wouldn't do that. I think this is dead Transonics. This is, if anything, that's definitely what Most Wanted didn't need. Because honestly, Transonics is gonna have to be the one to carry at this point, and it'll be hard with Clow. And Clow just gonna place his turret in back, and looks like Most Wanted is gonna steal speed buff, and Clow is dead again. Maybe Neath backflip. Does Neath have ult? No, Neath doesn't have ult, because I believe Neath just used it on Vulcan like last fight. Yeah, so that's what I've noticed. So I've noticed that Aware Gaming has definitely been targeting this Vulcan, right? Which is probably the smartest thing they could do, and that's largely the reason they have a lead. And I don't know why he didn't teleport. Why didn't he teleport? And now he's dead. Now he's dead. And that was easy. I mean, Cynosure could have teleported and at least gotten the kill, and then died, because honestly, I think death was kind of inevitable there. Like, I don't think there's anything he could have done to prevent his own death. Like, I would have tried to at least gotten one kill and then died. But obviously, that's just gonna put his team even further behind. It's unfortunate, but it's whatever. I mean, so sometimes you have to learn, like, that you are in fact behind, and you have to learn how to play from behind, right? And you have to learn how to play when stuff isn't going your way, and that doesn't look like something that Most Wanted is doing, right? Because I think Most Wanted, I think traditionally has been ahead in a lot of their games, and they just aren't used to being behind like this. Um, Now, Aware Gaming, maybe they're used to playing further behind. Not quite sure, but it doesn't really matter now because they're definitely ahead. As we'll see, a Dead Wolves. No, damage community is good. In fact, this fight could turn for the worse for Aware, as it looks like it's a 4v2. Oh, no, it's a 4v4. I think Thor could go down on this Erlang Shen. He tried, and dead Cynosure. Yeah, I think with Cynosure, I think it's decision making for him, right? Like, he could have gone in on that Erlang, but then he would have like guaranteed his own death. And but I think, like, since he was already up in there, like, he was kind of safe, and he probably could have backed out. I don't know, but it looks like Aware Gaming has the Fire Giant, as someone picked up Wrath. Did they not? Oh, or just show me the graphs. But yeah, somebody definitely wrathed that Fire Giant, which means that they got it as their second relic, because I know for a fact no one got it for their first shot. Likely the support. Yes, yes. Oh no, it was the jungler. Okay, Susano. But yeah, I mean, just by looking at the bottom middle, I mean, you can see the problem. The problem is this Vulcan, 0-5. He's 0-5. And surprisingly, he's only a level behind, but he's behind over 1,000 in gold, and gold really matters for mages, because mages really need a lot of items to get online. Let's look at builds in general. And that's a pretty typical Uller build. Got a lot of power, got some pen, gonna be hitting like a truck. Same goes for the Neath build. Even though there hasn't been any lifesteal so far by the Neath, but honestly, Neath can get away with no lifesteal because of her 2 with the heal, but obviously Uller's not that lucky. Very similar builds out of the supports. Interesting to have the double star item for McCoys. I mean, I know at one point that was popular, but I wasn't sure if that's still popular. Okay, so the Vulcan finally built some health. He did it like 2 items too late, if you ask me. I mean, I think he should have built health a lot earlier. And yeah, I mean, the Zeus build is definitely a lot better. Yeah, like, I think the reason Clow is losing this game is because of his build. And he's the reason the team is losing right now. And Transonics, I mean, because I can recall Transonics landing the combo on that Goomba like, Inkum was a pretty large hitbox, right? But since then, I really haven't seen him hit it. And that's the thing about Uller, is as Uller, like that you're either really good or really bad, right? So you can be really good if you hit all your axes, right? But then if you miss all your axes, then you're not going to contribute much, and you're going to find yourself really far behind, right? And that's what we're seeing right now. The anti-heal being picked up by Robin. Yeah, I guess it's just to get rid of the Neath and get rid of the Erlang. That definitely makes sense. And also the item's pretty cheap, and it gives you magical defense, and that's gonna be needed against a Zeus, and Kumba even, because Kumba's one of the higher damaging guardians. And then Thor builds pretty similar, a lot of pen, just trying to shred through the tanks if you can, and also trying to use that passive by getting near a bunch of people so you can get some bonus damage going. Um, Same goes for Susanoo. You just build your pen, and yeah, it's not a rocket science build. The builds aren't difficult for jungle these days, you know. Um, but solo builds. So for solo builds, I kind of feel like solo builds are kind of like the most like diverse. As you can see here, like the two solo laners run completely opposite items, right? Like, it's the same core principle of they both got magical protection, etc. But 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 they have different methods of getting what they need. And Susanoo, it's kind of a shame the Kumba like completely got rid of the Susanoo ult by knocking him up in the air, and Vulcan. That did like 10% of Kumba's health, maybe. Unfortunate for Clow. Um, yeah, like there's. So do you see how Zeus went into the Imperial Helm tree? That's definitely something that I would have wanted to see out of that Vulcan, right? Because Vulcan would have been able to stay alive longer, and staying alive gets you more farm. Speaking of staying alive, that isn't something most wanted can do. And is that a deicide minus transonics? Wait, was that 3 or 4? There was 3 deaths on the side, and but but a lot of aware gaming is low. I don't think they can get this Phoenix. Like, I think they should back up, right? If they got the middle Phoenix, they can back up, and then they can do the Fire Giant, and then they can go for the next 2 Phoenixes. As I don't think most wanted can take the Fire Giant. Granted, I might have just jinxed it. But yeah, you're gonna see a lot of gold on the side of aware gaming. It'll be interesting to see, like, when they go back to base, what kind of stuff they pick up. Yeah, see, for example, okay, so Neath finally picked up that lifesteal, and obviously a lot more pen. Yeah, Neath is gonna be hitting like a truck. Yeah, as you can see, the golden hand in the bottom left. All of Wargaming is spending their gold. Um, that's what happens when you get a lot of objectives. Because when you get a lot of objectives, you can get more damage, and when you have more damage, it's easier to get more objectives. So, Smite is a snowball game in that regard. Um, we could see a Rada Tahuti being picked up by this Zeus. That would completely decimate Most Wanted. Granted, Most Wanted is already getting destroyed in these team fights, but I think that'll put the nail in the coffin, really. Um, at this point, we're just waiting for the next fight. In fact, Sunsure is going to go up in the air along with the Athena. Oh, it's a pretty good combo. I think we're just missing the Nox, and that's perfect combo. It's just a shame that Sino Short has not connected on that ult the whole game, and now he's dead. Yeah, Sino Short. Just honestly, the jungle mid for me is why this team's losing, and just I just feel bad for Matt Koiz, because honestly, Matt Koiz is he just got CC chained by like 3 or 4 ults right there, and there's not much he can do really. Like I said, Aware Gaming was going to group up, get a lot of gold, and then get the Fire Giant. And here we are with Aware Gaming going for the win right here. I guarantee they're going for this win. Um, it's interesting because I guess Matt Koiz went with a double Star Item because he's behind, and Star Items are pretty cheap, and they give you like good value. Like, so they don't cost much, but they give you like a decent amount of stats. But yeah, he just still keeps getting CC chained, and it's unfortunate for him because the point of Athena is to CC chain the other team, and uh, he's just getting a taste of the medicine. Is Erling Shen with a three-man taunt? Both teams have a taunt, but looks like Erling Shen has actually been able to use it a little bit better than Athena, ironically. And Cloud finally picks up kill. Sunisher is gonna go back in. Will Sunisher die again? But like I said, like he's doing no damage just because compared to Aware Gaming, he's like 2 or 3 levels behind in most cases. Not to mention the Zeus built physical defense. Um, Cloud is able to pick up another kill. Avant Gaming, or not, Avant Gaming. Gosh, I mean I guess that's what I get for writing about the Australian Pro League so much. Is it's like I just have all those names in my head, but looks like Transonics is going to pick up that kill onto Forger Vulcan, and looks like Aware Gaming just stayed too long. I mean, it looks like an even trade, but I think they could have gotten the win off that. I mean, it's a shame. Wait, let me see how much time's left in the game. I'm sorry to ruin the moment for you guys, but yeah. I mean, we still got some time, but yeah. I mean, when it comes, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I've had this lesson in one of the past things, but I mean, your builds can't be so cookie cutter, right? Like, you can't have the same build every single game, and Vulcan isn't a character in which you can build like full DPS and expect to do well, right? Like I compare him to like Zhang Kui, right? So Zhang Kui like needs to be pretty close up for his damage, and I feel like building full DPS on Zhang Kui, you're just gonna get dismayed. And I feel like the same goes for my friend Vulcan. Like, you know, he needs to be close up, and if he doesn't have the defenses to stay close up for a long time, he's gonna get destroyed. And that's what we're seeing, really. I mean, the bright side right now for Most Wanted is Transonics, and like, and even Transonics, like we've seen, miss a lot of axes that could have led to kills. Speaking of that, he's an axe form, and they're gonna try to pull off the CC chain with all the globals, but I mean, Most Wanted pulled off a great CC chain right there. It's just they don't do enough damage because of how far behind they are, and Aware Gaming is just gonna finish the Titan. Are they gonna try to BM kill Clow right now? Oh, Clow, Clow, Clow's a double kill. Oh, darn it, Cameron G. So, um, so although the match might be over, I still want to talk a little bit about that game. Um, so let's see here. Wait, is there anything I want to talk about? There actually isn't. But yeah, let me just reiterate what I was saying. Yeah, you just can't build Vulcan like that, my dude. I'm sorry. Uh, so yeah, it should be interesting. I know that this was Aware Gaming's first set, I believe, and I believe Aware Gaming is 4-0. And Most Wanted, I don't think they've picked up a win yet. So it should be interesting to see Aware Gaming come out of the Challengers Cup and do pretty well to start the season. Um, so yeah, um, like I might be doing some more console league. I might be going back to PC. But I know PC has had a lot of roster swaps and it's crazy. But that's what happens between splits, really. Uh, so yeah, thank you all for watching because I love doing these, obviously. And I know I haven't done it in a while. I've just been busy with school and stuff, but I try to make these better than they were to start because I know to start they're pretty bad. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll be sure to make more of these in the future. Thanks.